In our last travel video, we left off in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, where we were there for the Escapers Annual Bash.
Lake Havasu City is one of our favorite Southwest destinations to visit in the wintertime. We've been there before and had a great time, and this time was no exception.
The town is really unique, and we've done a video on it in the past. We'll put a link to that video in the description below.
The week of socializing, entertainment, and presentations wrapped up with a bang with a huge DJ setup. They had this awesome rave rover that came out with lights and sound, and that ended up like transforming into the DJ stand, and it was just a wild party that went way late into the night, but it was a great way to end a really awesome event.
After our time at the bash, we headed down to Quartzsite, Arizona, which is a very unique little town of only about 3,000 people that balloons to a couple 100,000 people strictly in RVs that live out in the desert in the dead of winter.
Quartzsite is surrounded by BLM land and is known for its long-term visitor areas where people can stay for up to 6 months at a time. A lot of people come out here because it is awesome for off-roading, and there's also some great events that happen throughout the whole winter, including the Quartzsite Gem and Mineral Show and the Big Tent, which is the sports, vacation, and RV show.
These shows have an eclectic fair-like atmosphere that we actually hadn't checked out before. We checked it out this time, and it was a lot of fun.
After the busyness of Lake Havasu and Quartzsite, we decided to find a quiet little desert boondocking spot, and we found the perfect spot just outside of Kofa National Wildlife Refuge, just south of Quartzsite.
The Kofa National Wildlife Refuge has some camping sites right along the road, but it also is surrounded by BLM land, and we found ourselves one of our favorite desert boondocking spots right on the BLM land overlooking the mountains in the Kofa National Wildlife Refuge. Kofa has an interesting history as it stands for the King of Arizona mine, which used to operate in the area. As the mine was shutting down, the Boy Scouts of Arizona realized that the desert bighorn sheep were in significant decline and petitioned to turn the area into a wildlife refuge.
We actually got to see the desert bighorn when we were in Carlsbad Caverns National Park just a couple weeks prior. So it was really cool to learn about this area and how they were bringing back this unique species.
After a few years of campaigns, the Fish and Wildlife Service did set this land aside to preserve the desert bighorn sheep, and now their numbers are considerably higher than they were, and it is just a stunningly beautiful place with the saguaro and cholla cacti. Sunsets and sunrises are just spectacular. We really enjoyed our time there.
After recharging a little bit at Kofa, we joined some more friends down in the American Girl Mine area near Yuma, Arizona. The American Girl Mine area is also a mining area. They've been mining gold and silver there on and off in the Cargo Mountains for many, many years. And this place is a very popular boondocking spot as well, given its close proximity to Yuma and all the amenities, restaurants, shopping there, as well as Los Algadones, Mexico, which is a border crossing area that you can just walk across.
One of the days we were camped at American Girl Mine, we gathered our group of friends we were camped with, and we headed to Algadones, Mexico.
Now you might recognize some of the members of our crew. In addition to us, there was Jason and Ray of the Getaway Couple, Kyle and Olivia of Drivin' and Vibin', and John and Peter of the RV Geeks.
We drove to the border with the intent to walk across. The area on the US side of the border is Native American owned and has a large parking lot that for $6 you can park your vehicle.
We elected to carpool so that we could save on parking fees, and we easily walked across from there. Walking across was actually extremely simple. There was nobody checking us or what we were bringing into Los Algadones, so we basically just walked through some turnstiles, and there we were.
We just went to check it out. It was a fun-filled day. We wandered around, did a little bit of shopping with the street vendors, and we also had a really great lunch with probably a few too many margaritas.
Guilty. We also got some pedicures. All of us got pedicures, even the guys, and it was wonderful.
First time with a pedicure, what'd you think?
Felt good, can't complain.
Nice supple feet.
That's right, they're feeling good right now. Already back in the shoes.
One of the things I loved about visiting Los Algadones was everything was so colorful. The courtyards, the fabrics, the clothing, everything was just so brightly colored.
One thing to note about Los Algadones is that it is a very popular destination for medical tourism. It's a really small town, but it has over 300 dentists, a whole bunch of optometrists, and also pharmacies that offer services and prescriptions at much less cost than what you can get in the United States.
Just be aware when you cross the border, you will get a lot of pullers trying to get you to schedule appointments with them, come into their pharmacy, that type of thing, which is actually pretty common across all of the street vendors. They're always wanting to ask you for stuff, so just be prepared for that, and go in it with a mindset of you know what your set price is, and you should be able to find a pretty fair deal. At the end of the day, we had to get back into line to come across back into the United States, and that line was much longer. It probably took us just over an hour to get through the line and through the border checkpoint, where we just had to show our passports and tell them what we bought, but it was a pretty smooth, simple process. After going through it and realizing that it was very doable, we scheduled a dentist appointment for a couple days later to go back and have our teeth cleaned.
We scheduled the appointment for 8 a.m. in Mexico, but we were staying in California and they were on Arizona time, so it was actually 7 a.m. We didn't realize how early we had to get up. We had an early get up. We crossed the border without any problems because it was pretty much empty. There was nobody there.
Yeah, and the streets were pretty much empty. Nothing had opened yet. It was kind of a very different experience from a couple days before where everything was super busy.
But we found our dentist just fine, and it pretty much felt like going to the dentist in the US. We filled out new patient paperwork, they called us back, and overall it was a great experience. They
called us back into their clinic, which had just been renovated. So I must say this was probably one of the fanciest dentist offices I've ever been in. I think the chair that Tom used was actually he was the first person to sit in that chair. So everything was brand new, looked very nice, was very clean, and we had a really great experience with it.
We just got our teeth cleaned, but people go down there for some extensive dental work and surgery and can save tens of thousands of dollars over a US-based dental office. We visited the Rubio Dental Group and our cleaning was $30 per person. Because there are so many dentist offices, we recommend trying to find a review or a recommendation for one of the dentists over there. A lot of them are up to US standards for dentistry, and the dentists hold degrees just like they would here, but we're not sure about the quality of all of them.
We learned of Rubio through our friends Mark and Julie Bennett of RV Love, who we know and trust, so we felt very comfortable going through that dental office.
Because we'd gone so early in the morning, getting back across the border was super easy. If you go early enough, you could just walk back across, there is no line. So getting up early actually worked out well in our favor.
We wrapped up our time at American Girl Mine with one other adventure. Nearby is the Imperial Sand Dunes, which you can see from I-8 and from where we were camping in American Girl Mine. And so one day we went out with our friends to explore the sand dunes.
Lots of people go to these sand dunes with dune buggies and ATVs and dirt bikes and ride all over them. We were just on foot, but we still had a blast. One of the families in our group had a saucer that we waxed up and we were able to go sledding down the dunes, which was a ton of fun. These dunes are so beautiful as well. It really feels like the Sahara as far as you can see, this beautiful red-orange sand.
We had hoped to see a sunset, but the clouds didn't really cooperate, but nonetheless, we had a really great time out there.
The next day, we said goodbye to our friends. We all headed different directions. We personally headed further west to meet up with some family.
Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Hit that thumbs up button if you like this video and hit subscribe if you haven't already. We'd love to have you along for our journey. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.